Oh, just kidding. 3. Here we go. All right. Hello, everybody. 3.
Hello, Moto. Are we
Hello,
on?
James. We are on. It's the brushing off the rust of season 1
Yeah.
decay, and then coming into season 2 all fresh. We got
It's spring. It is so
almost
it is
St.
time
Patty's
for
Day, as I
it's
see
almost
in
St.
your
Patrick's
background.
Day. Yes, it's coming up. So ready to dye our rivers green. We're ready for the next season for the Big Picture Show. This is season 2. We've made it to season 2 of the Big Picture Pinball Show, and it's pretty exciting. We have
Hello,
more
everyone in the
stories.
chat. Hey,
We
Altered
have
B Seats.
we have more stories of filmmakers making wonderful stories about pinball and content creators out there creating wonderful stories. So we came back with a season 2. So we have so much more to share. We decided to do it again. We had so much fun. So
Yeah, and if y'all missed season 1, we did 10 episodes. We're a little over an hour each. James did an epic job of compressing all of those episodes and picking out the highlights and creating a 1-hour digestible thing of the entire season. You can find that on our YouTube page at Marco Pinball, or on our Facebook page for that matter. And it's funny because James, in one of the pieces that you cut in there was a clip of you saying, I didn't think so many people made content for pinball. When Emoto pitched this show to me, I was like, nobody's making pinball content. What are we going to even have a show on? But look, now we're season 2. We got a full season.
Yeah, we had 10 episodes. We got a lot of stuff planned for season 2. We got some special surprises coming up that as our Big Picture Pinball Show is going to kind of morph. We're just a chrysalis now. We're going to then blossom into a beautiful butterfly. And I'm just like,
Fly
yes,
away.
I am. Yes, I am just giving a little teaser, but you will find out more very soon. We have big picture for the big picture pinball show. So more stories to tell, more people to visit with, and it's pretty exciting. It's going to be a great year. So we have a great show coming up here. So our season 1 episode here, we have Jeff Patterson. He is the founder and editor of thisweekinpinball.com. He is also the creator of the TWIPY Awards, and the TWIPY Awards have kind of blossomed like a butterfly and has grown from a chrysalis and grown out and has gone upon the webs and has making wonderful content out there. So we're going to learn about that transformation and learn a bit about the origin story. And no, it's a good show. I think it's an exciting show.
Yeah, I'm really excited for you to meet Jeff. I work with him a lot. We're big sponsors of the TWIPY Pinball Show, and just supporters of thisweekinpinball.com, which is an awesome resource for everything pinball and pinball news. So without further ado, next week, and I was going to count days, but I really don't want to because I'm racing the clock. Next Saturday, not this Saturday coming up, but the 26th at 8 p.m. Eastern, we'll be going live and starting at 8:30 the 2021 season TWIPYs Pinball Award Show. And we're doing it live, finally, at Texas Pinball Festival. So it'll be fun to talk about that. But I do have the trailer to watch, James, so we can get a little bit of context on the TWIPYs for those who don't know about it. And then we'll kind of rack back and talk about This Week in Pinball.
And meet Jeff. Jeff's out there waiting for us.
Gotta meet him. All right, I'm going to go to it now.
This Week in Pinball is excited to announce the 5th annual TWIPY Pinball Awards will be taking place again this March. The TWIPYs are an annual celebration of the pinball hobby, where the public votes for their favorite features from pinball machines released in 2021, as well as their favorite pinball content creators. The TWIPYs will be live March 26th at the Texas Pinball Festival and will be hosted by Amoto Harney and Dead Flip's Jack Danger. The doors open at 8 p.m. and you won't want to miss it. Make sure to stick around after the show for the after party, sponsored by Pinball Life and Marco Specialties. Thank you to all our sponsors. It's gonna be a blast. We can't wait to see you there.
Oh. Blast off to the TWIPYs. That was the best music ever, Jeff. Good job. Blast off. Go team.
To the TWIPYs.
That was the
Casey.
Yay, Casey.
She's awesome.
Casey's
right.
your editor as well as the voiceover talent.
Exactly. We found her out of California. She's incredible. So
We talk
Good-
about
good-
Casey before we talk about Jeff. Even though Jeff
Yeah, well,
is our
let's
special guest.
let's circle back around and learn more about Jeff. Jeff, you obviously are the founder of This Week in Pinball
Yes.
and the TWIPY Awards. But tell us a little bit about your origin story. We always kind of go after a little bit about you, your past, where you grew up. If you're a suburb boy, if you're a street tough kid, we always want to know the details about how you became a lover of pinball, as well as how you started this wonderful website that's such a resource.
is Amish part of the?
Sure, why not? Did you grow up Amish?
Are you
I grew up in
Amish?
Amish country.
Really? Oh,
Yeah, it was northern Indiana. My dad was a teacher, and his school was about 70% Amish. So we had Amish friends, and I'm into woodworking. That's my other hobby. So I guess I got some of that in me. But
Did you ever participate in Rumspringa? Did you ever drive the kids around and have shenanigans?
no, not exactly. But I hung out with some of the Amish kids that were, in that phase, and that was fun.
Kind of a different show. But let's circle back around to you and the love of pinball.
Yeah. So yeah, once we got electricity. No.
It was approved.
Once I was able to plug in the pinball game.
No, I really got into pinball with the Pinball Arcade. That was kind of what got me back into pinball. I played in college some, played Funhouse and things like that, just on
He
location.
knows.
And
That's
then
my game. I love Funhouse.
I love it.
That's my favorite.
And then when I, got an iPad and got Pinball Arcade and started playing that all the time, and then kind of went through the same thing where it was, oh, they still make these machines. And then I saw Wizard of Oz, and I thought, holy cow, this is crazy that people are making these. So
Video
that's kinda how I
screens in
got-
them.
Yeah, video screens and all the lights, and I didn't even know they were still making them. So it was that's kind of Pinball Arcade is really how I got back into it.
Nice.
So what inspired you
Oh.
to get the word out and develop a website? Do you have a web design career in your past, or how'd you get out there and get that
That's a good
motivation
question,
to collect all
actually.
that?
Yeah.
No, so I actually I didn't have any experience with like website design or anything like that. I kind of did that as a hobby, just like researching how to do that, and I had a couple ideas on websites that I wanted to try to make, kind of just like side hustle type stuff, and as I was getting back into pinball,
Hey, Bex,
I was
Hey, Joel.
listening to podcasts, listening to or watching like Twitch streams and YouTube
Look,
videos and all
Captain
that. And I started thinking, I wish that somebody would, put everything kind of just a snapshot of the week, instead of, having to listen to every podcast. And,
You didn't have to listen to every podcast at then. It was just coast to coast, and it was good.
Coast to Coast, I listened
Once
to
Coast to
while
Coast died out, it was like,
Yeah, when I was actually drywalling the basement here, I listened to like all the Coast to Coast episodes. So, but yeah, I just was thinking it was kind of during that resurgence time where all these podcasts started coming in, and so I started working on, a name for it and how to do just a snapshot every week. And there's a This Week in Baseball that was popular in the 80s, 90s. It might still be around, I'm not sure, but that's kind of where the name came from. So when I launched it, I know somebody commented right away, "You stole that from This Week in Baseball." Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Is the logo similar? Is that why your logo's like that?
Logo,
so I was like,
no,
where did this
the
logo
logo-
come from? I love this. It's my favorite logo.
We've been
Power
talking
logo.
about this all day today. Yeah, Scott from Penn
Very
Stadium.
long.
Thank you,
Nice.
Scott.
Thank you,
did that
Scott.
for me, so.
I think
Yeah.
Scott's in the chat, maybe. Is he Cowboy Scott? Or is that just serendipitous that we have another Scott on Twitch? Maybe it's just...
I'm not sure.
Is Penn Stadium Scott a Cowboy?
Could be.
Maybe. We'll have to ask him next week.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna...
Sure, he'll be in Texas.
So how long has
that's
the
awesome.
website been around? How long have you been producing the
Can't
website? It seems like a lot of work for,
It's
for a
been-
passion project.
Yeah, it's been maybe 5 years now.
Oh, wow.
Something like that,
Yeah.
5 or 6 years.
Wow.
And I after I got the idea, it took about 3 months to probably get the website up and running and
Right.
just because I hadn't done any of that before. So, but yeah, it's been about 5 years, I think.
So how it has evolved? You are playing along with the trends, I see, and there is also a video version of This Week in Pinball.com. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about that evolution and how you decided to create and edit some amazing video for content for pinball.
Yeah, so that was I partnered up with Will Auding. He's out of St. Louis, and he runs silverballswag.com, and we kind of partnered on that. And he's helped me a lot on the back end side of This Week in Pinball website and the TWIPYs, and he's amazing. But he. Yeah. What was the question again?
Well, we're talking about the video version of the
So
content for
we've
your
been
site.
talking for a while. When he came in, we started getting all these other new ideas and stuff like that. And we've been talking for quite a while on, trying to do a video version of This Week in Pinball, something to, shorten it down even more, do like we had a This Week in Pinball podcast for a while. So just trying different mediums for people.
Right.
And video was something we always wanted to try. So Will and I talked about kind of different ideas on how to do that. And we went online and put out an ad. And that's how we came in touch with Casey, who does all the editing. She's
so
incredible.
great.
She's out of California, and she's a pinball fan, not like we are, not crazy, but she enjoys pinball, and she just does a phenomenal job with video editing.
You also have a kind of an animated version of Casey. She also does the voiceover.
Is that what she really looks like?
Yes.
Yeah, that was my. You beat me to the question. So yeah.
Well, I was curious. I was like, I like
Is
her
that-
style then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's based
Cool.
on it's based on her. So
I mean, it could have not been, right? Like,
no, yeah, it definitely could have not been.
people
Sure.
exaggerate their avatars, or like, when I game, I would do like a mohawk, purple mohawk, but
Yeah.
I would
And
never
you're a
do that in
monster.
real life.
Yeah.
Bah.
I'm always a monster when I do a avatar.
Yeah, like
Nah,
green skin, purple
Could be anything
skin,
you want.
pink eyes.
But no, I like the presentation of it. I like how she's got a great voiceover, great editing, everything about it's solid. So
Yeah,
excellent production.
She's amazing.
Who
So
writes
tell-
the scripts to it? Sorry, James.
Yeah.
It just popped in my
Me too.
head because, it's
Tell-
so well said. And we'll watch a clip of one of the recaps in a little bit. But what's that process?
Tell us a little bit about the process of
Yeah.
how the show comes on. I mean, do you first
Shake
post the
dance,
website, the writing on the website, and then give it to her, and she does the
Oh, great
the
question.
editing? Tell us a
Thank
little
you.
bit about the process.
Yeah, so what we do, and I've been taking a break from This Week in Pinball for a little bit now, but I was doing weekly posts on This Week in Pinball. And at the end of the month, Will would go through and kind of identify all of the biggest stories that happened that month. So, say a new machine came out, or manufacturer signed a new designer to their team or something like that. So we'd kind of go through and he'd get a list together, and we'd go through and kind of reorder on, what we thought were the top stories. And we'd put in occasionally like a little inside joke or something if Casey wanted to say it. And we just kind of send it, but most of it, as far as the direction stuff, is just her,
Wow.
And she reads some of the stuff off of the website, but direction wise and editing and all the animations, which she does really cool animations too. All that is, all that's her. So,
Wow.
That's
Wow,
amazing.
talent. So
Yeah.
she's definitely a talent.
Yeah, not just
Definitely.
in video editing, but in copy editing too.
Yeah.
It's so
Voiceover.
smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
She's a one-stop,
and the voice work.
wonderful, one-stop shop.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
she's
I say we watch one so we can see it for context and we can come back and talk about it. And then we are getting a few questions in the chat. Just letting everyone know, if everyone feel free to ask questions to Jeff in the chat. I am writing down everyone's names, and at the end of the show, everyone who asks a question that we ask gets put in a random wheel of names, and you'll get to win a $25 gift card to Silver Ball
Ooh.
Swag. You can get some
Wow.
really cool shirts or hats or socks. They just got
Socks.
pinball
Yeah,
socks in.
socks. I want some socks.
I know. I wonder if I order it now, I can get it in time for Texas Pinball Festival next week.
I think we can make that happen.
Huh?
I'll come on the TWIPY stage with just socks on. All right.
And
I'm
sandals.
yeah, socks and sandals and headlamps and gloves. All right, we're gonna switch over and watch the TWIPY news segment. This one is from August. Jeff, you need to get back on it. We want more video content.
I know.
All right.
Trust me, I know.
All right. We'll cut over right now.
Swag will be at Pinball Expo 2021. We're looking forward to talking with everyone and playing some pinball. Visit pinballexpo.com for tickets. See you there. Hello, Pinheads. Welcome to This Week in Pinball's August 2021 recap of everything happening in the pinball world. Legendary pinball designer Steve Ritchie has joined Jersey Jack Pinball. They shared Steve's warm welcome to the family on Facebook, saying, "The king of pinball has arrived." Steve was interviewed on the Jersey Jack Pinball podcast and talked about giving his resignation at Stern Pinball, his love of action games, walking into Jersey Jack Pinball for the first time, and how he is looking forward to making some cool games with Jersey Jack Pinball in the future. For more, check out the full podcast episode. Jack Danger of Dead Flip streamed Spooky Pinball's Halloween and Ultraman live from Spooky headquarters. Bug Emery was there to show off the exciting triple upper playfields and explain some details during the overview. After a few rounds of Halloween, they moved over to Ultraman and answered questions from the live chat. Jack and Bug were hilarious, and Charlie Emery even showed up for a cameo. Check out the full stream on Dead Flip Twitch channel. In some sad news, the Museum of Pinball's 18-acre campus in Banning, California is closing its doors. Museum founder John Weeks was unable to meet a deadline before storage costs forced his hand. The non-profit museum's collection of 1,100 machines are going up for individual auction. Participants will be able to place bids online or in person at the Banning location. A huge thank you to John Weeks and Chuck Casey on making the collection available to the pinball public over the last several years. Ferris Bueller's Day Off Pinball has been revealed, a re-theme created by Brian Soares and Rebby Hardy. Work your way through Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Shoot around the playfield to collect Principal Rooney, Cam, Ferris, Sloan, and Jeannie. Collect leisure awards at the Bueller House. Advance through the daily events like Fakin' It, Ferrari, and Parade to the Wizard Mode. Get Ferris home. The game is filled with tiny details, like the intercom start button, designed to match the one outside Ferris's front door, the Lucky Rabbit's foot, and the collector's edition Ferris Bueller Hot Wheels. Check out This Week in Pinball's in-depth overview of the machine and a dive into the features and rules. Guest contributor Ted Finley shines some light onto one of the most discussed topics on forums and podcasts during the last 18 months, pinflation. The dramatic rise of used pinball machine prices. An analysis by pinballprices.com shows during the first 6 months of 2021, the average used pinball machine sold for 21% more than the previous year. But pinflation has been going on for more than just the past year. Looking back just a few years to 2018, prices have continued to skyrocket and almost double. Higher demand with limited supply have pushed prices up. Check out Ted Finley's in-depth breakdown of individual machine examples and a few possible reasons driving the rise. The SEC has charged Robert Mueller and Deeproot with defrauding investors. News just broke that the Securities and Exchange Commission is charging Robert Mueller and entities under the Deeproot umbrella, including Deeproot Pinball, in a $58 million investment scam. This is a developing story, and we'll continue to learn and share more as new information is made available. Follow the link in our article to read more details about the case. Chicago Gaming Company confirms Cactus Canyon is their next title. At the Southern Fried Gaming Expo, Chicago Gaming Company shared that the Cactus Canyon remake will be their next game. The toys have been upgraded, the art has been cleaned up, and the game has a new finished code. They said the topper will be the first ever created that has its own mini-game inside it. The formal reveal is expected in the upcoming weeks. Stern Pinball has announced their Insider Connected platform. The platform will launch a new era of pinball and change how pinball enthusiasts interact with machines. The platform offers a new set of engagement features for players. And for operators, it offers new tools to drive location play and maintain the machines. George Gomez was interviewed on the Stern Insider Pinball podcast, where he discussed some of the new platform's features for players and operators. After logging in with your unique QR code, any connected Stern game will then recognize that it is you playing the game. Then you can start tracking achievements and earn them as badges to display on your profile. Players can participate in challenge quests, time-based challenges to earn rewards like store discounts and cool merch. George says there's even more coming. We'll be looking out for it.
And now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, our monthly giveaway winners. Congrats to all the previous month's winners. Make sure to go to patreon.com/TWIP and become a member. By giving This Week in Pinball a small monthly donation, you will automatically be entered in our upcoming monthly giveaways and also get all the awesome TWIP perks. You can also email giveaways at thisweekinpinball.com with your name, address, and email to be entered for this month only. This Week in Pinball swag pack goes to Greg. A Pinball Life pin gulp goes to Chris. A PinQuest hat goes to Tom. A Hooked on Pinball gift card goes to Alex. A Silver Ball swag gift card goes to Kevin. A Titan Universal Silicone ring kit goes to Andrew. The Comet Pinball gift card goes to Ryan. The Pin Sound gift card goes to James. And finally, the grand prize, Pin Stadium Neo, goes to, drumroll please, Brian. Congratulations! And a huge thank you to our generous sponsors that help make this hobby great. Our Patreon members make TWIP possible. A special thanks to our newest subscribing Patreon supporters. Between forums, podcasts, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch, it's hard to keep up with everything happening in the world of pinball. This Week in Pinball is your one-stop shop for pinball news and happenings. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for our YouTube channel. Catch you on the flip side, pinballers.
All right. That was such a blast from the past. I feel like I knew everything I needed to know of pinball in August. Wow. I loved it.
It's been
It
a
was
little
so
while.
many sad. Museum of Pinball's gone.
I know.
Deep Root's gone. Oh wait, we knew that would happen.
Pinball Adventures.
Pinball Adventures. Yeah, Joel
know
in the
what they're
chat says,
doing.
I missed the Pinball Adventures updates. Please bring it back. Or bring it back, please. So-
Go ahead. I was just going to just compliment the wonderful weaving of all of that content together from that editor. Wonderful little animated clips, wonderful transitions, fluid, as silky and smooth as the high end, just a high end, beautiful look. So congratulations, excellent work, and hopefully we'll see more someday. So
That's how
Yeah,
I
I'll
want
pass that
to
on to Casey.
digest all of
Don't lose
my
Casey.
content.
do not
Yeah.
lose Casey. She's awesome.
She is.
Do you have any plans of like when you get less busy and stuff to do more of these recaps? Can we expect them in the future, or is it kind of like
Be
I hope
quarterly.
so.
dead?
We're probably going to talk about that some at the Texas Pinball Festival. Talk to Will, get to see him in person and hang out with him. We
Nice.
talk pretty much every day, but just to hang out in person and
Yeah.
Even if
go over the where
if
we're
it's not
headed and stuff.
once a month, you could do a quarterly version of it too. So we have something to look forward
yeah.
to quarterly, versus, every month. I just look at that and go, oh my God.
That was a
that's so
lot
much
of
work.
content. That was
Yeah,
a
that's
lot.
So much work.
You guys
but
covered everything.
But
Yeah.
but quarterly, that would be great. That would be pretty awesome. So, keep up
But
with what's
then would the
happening.
quarterly one be like an hour long? And then now
Probably.
you're editing a feature length film. Goes on
Well, you
Netflix.
might just pick the best parts.
Yeah,
the
from
biggest
Cowboy
highlights.
Scott, how long does it take to produce a single episode like that?
Excellent,
great
excellent
question.
question for the film forum. Yeah, for our
Yeah,
film
well,
makers.
it's kind of hard to say on because when you add in all the time. So I do the This Week in Pinball website, and I was doing that every Monday. So that would take me maybe like 30 hours a week, just
Full-
to get the Monday and sometimes Tuesday, sometimes Thursday stuff up, and then from the end of that month, then we go through everything we had, and then we send it off to Casey. And I don't know how long it took her to put all that together, but
Well, what was the turnaround time from when you sent it to her and got the video back?
probably
Yeah, that's a lot of
varied
hours.
about a week and a half.
Wow.
No way! Are you
That's-
serious? She's gonna
that's-
put me out of business. That would have taken me like 6 months.
And when you find those special people to work with you,
Whoa.
you've got to hold on to them.
I know.
Make sure they're appreciated, because it's definitely a
Should
a
all
passion
of that in a
love as
week
well.
turnaround?
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, she would get, I want to say week to week and a half.
sure.
And it with very little, like every once in a while we had to go back to her and say, hey, can you switch this out or something like that. But most of the time it was,
Solid content.
yeah, take one.
That's amazing. Wow.
So let's talk about the origins of the TWIPYs, because This Week in Pinball is yet another layer of your passion project, which has evolved into this award ceremony. Now, I've only seen one TWIPY award, and there was some drama going on in the award, and it seemed pretty dramatic, and that was pre-COVID. So I don't know if you
Were you?
I don't
Oh, you were there.
even-
You
Yeah.
were at Texas. He was at Texas Pinball Festival in 2019, which was a great show. The
Was that
last
the Francie
I think
breaking
he's
the
talking.
trophy?
I think he's talking about Francie breaking the trophy,
Yeah.
which was completely staged, by the way. But
Oh,
Francie
okay.
was
Whew.
such a great actor that we all believed him, which was not a
Yeah.
good thing at the end of the day.
And I
Smashed
didn't
it.
tell Mike Vinicor, who was, I should have, I didn't even, I don't know why I didn't click
That
it. So I've apologized. I think the last time I apologized to him for that was like a month ago. So sorry again, Mike.
you get to
Should've
tell him
told you.
again in a few days.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, tell us a little bit about the origins of
funny.
the TWIPYs and why you decided to start this award, as
As
well
if
as
you don't have enough on your plate.
yeah, and the
the whole
production of the
website.
award is a pretty amazing too. So a lot of great. You have 3D graphics in it. You have wonderful editing and post, and I know Amoda's been on board a little bit to help you with that, so she can
Past few
explain
years,
the process there. But tell us a little bit about its origin stories and why you decided to give an award away for pinball lovers.
Yeah. So we got, it was like, it was in December, I believe, of 2017, 2018, one of the two. And I was at TWIP Worldwide Headquarters, which is my couch over
I was
here.
about to say,
And-
where's that?
But
And I was I was trying to think of something like a year-end article at pinballnews.com, another great website. They do like a year-end, like a yearly recap of everything that happened during the year. And I was trying to think, is there something that we could do with that? And thought, well, I wonder if we could do like an awards type, award show or something like that. And so I asked online and just said, I had made a list of like some possible names, and TWIPYs was actually on the list, but it seemed a little self-indulgent, I thought. So, but I put it out there and just, because it was like the SBs, it just kind of had a ring to it. So put that out there, and Steve Bowden, actually, of funwithbonus.com, he came back and he said, what about this weekend pinball yearly awards, TWIPY awards? And I thought, I didn't think about that standing for something too. That
the Y is for yearly. Yes.
Yes, the Y is for yearly.
Yeah. This year.
So, and
yearly.
and then it just started kind of evolving from there, where I launched that initially, and I won't like go into it too much because I messed up. I left one machine off accidentally, so we had to like restart the whole thing. And then started talking to the straight on the middle guys, Zach and Greg, and we did the first year that show was streamed live in, I think it was Greg's basement.
Yeah, it was great.
And then the next year we took it to the Texas Pinball Festival and did it, live, and that was just such a fun event. Once we did it live, it was kind of like, all right, this is how it should be. And then we had planned everything, for right. Yes. Amoda remembers, we had everything planned for the Texas Pinball Festival right when the pandemic hit. And so we kind of just scrambled there to put something together. And then last year we had to do it. And I'm not like trying to downplay, but we're really excited to have it back live again, because it does feel like it needs to be a live show. It's so much more fun live.
Doing it virtually was very difficult because when they first did the live ceremony, James, they of course were asking for sponsors. So Marco's Specialties jumped on that because they love helping the pinball community. They love Texas Pinball Festival. So they came on as a sponsor. And that's where I kind of found out about it. That's when you and I were contracted by Marco to shoot their interviews and stuff we were doing, right?
Yeah,
this is before I was officially working with Marco. And so after that, and after I became the marketing director, and we're like, oh yeah, okay, we sponsor the TWIPYs. So I was helping Jeff with the live show. And then, of course, when COVID canceled and any reasonable person would be like, oh, I guess there's no TWIPYs. I was like, Jeff, we got to
can
do
make
it
it
virtual,
happen.
right? Yeah, me and Jeff were like, oh, we still have to make the show. And Jeff's like, can you edit make the show in like 2 weeks or whatever, some ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
So with the help of Carrie Hardy,
Yeah,
you
Carrie.
know, and other people on the team, we put together, which was essentially a feature-length film, edited in like just a few weeks.
All that footage from
It was
people
crazy.
accepting awards, and it was
yeah, that was the thing.
with
Yeah,
different
making it like
weird,
an award
goofy
show.
Formats, yeah.
So it
And then
wasn't like this where we're just talking and presenting the awards. It was like bringing in video content from people accepting awards, video content from people presenting awards, little montages, and really try to make it feel like a live event experience, but you know, at the comfort of your COVID enclosure.
And at the same time, you were co-hosting it with Jack Danger, and you weren't even in the same room with him. You were actually, he was actually green screened in, and you were interacting and talking with him.
Yeah, so that was the first one, James.
Really trippy, really wild.
We had to do. I'm so glad we're going live. We had to do 2 virtual award shows. So the first year was with Carrie Hardy, and we were green screened and stuff like that too. And then the second one with Jack Danger, it was still in, you know, the height of COVID. So Texas Pinball Festival hasn't been around for 2 years, which is insane to think that the last time we were there is 2019.
Why did you decide to do it in Texas? Was it just because it's the biggest pinball event of the year, or what made you decide to do the event at Texas and make that your show? And how many years has it been going in Texas?
Well, this
obviously you did it in the basement.
It will be the second. It will be the third time we've planned it. The second time that it's actually taken place live, and Texas kind of fit just because it's in March. It's one of the early shows of the year, and we wanted the awards to be from the previous year.
Right.
And then Ed Vanderveen, who runs Texas Pinball Festival, has just been phenomenal. Help with everything, with getting everything set up with the TWIPYs. And I also I want to throw this out there because it always feels a little bit weird, like to talk about the TWIPYs when it's just me talking, because it's such a huge,
it's a big committee.
Team. So many people that are, and Marco Omoto's been such an all-star. Marco's been great. All the sponsors that we have, it doesn't happen without them. The TWIPY committee members.
I wanted to ask about that, about how you decide what. I mean, obviously you have your categories, but who actually votes on these categories? It's not just a random selection by like, hey, I know that dude, bring him on. But you actually have a committee. You actually then vote on the project, or you just go, that's the guy I like the best.
Audience Choice Awards.
No, this is
all
like
through audience.
It's like MTV,
But it's not like you got committee members like the Oscars. You're one of the committee of the Oscars.
Yeah.
This is all popular support. This is all
right. This is like a People's Choice where there's
People's Choice. Yeah.
We get. I don't remember how many votes we got this year. 6,000, something like that.
Wow.
So we get like just a lot of people in the community that vote.
Do they put in their product for you? It's like, I want to be a part of this award and put in the awards, or do you know like what's coming out and then you nominate that particular event, that particular project?
So we have a
tell me about the process.
We have a what we call a TWIPY committee, and that's comprised of about 7 or 8 people, and we go through and we determine which machines are eligible for that year, and which I guess content creators are eligible. And how that kind of works is the game shipping? If the game's not shipping, then it's not going to be eligible for that year, even if it's been announced. And then content creator wise, we have to look at, is this person eligible for podcast? If they are, then they had to put out a minimum of 5 podcasts in a year, or things like that. So we kind of go through everybody like that to see who all is eligible. and that's how people get on the ballot.
Well, it sounds very legitimate and fair, by the way. So this is not just
many hours of committee time is going through. Really.
This year it was
tweaking
actually
it.
like it's this year. Not to jinx anything, but it's the first like 5 years where we had so much, so many like we can learn from mistakes, you know.
Sure.
And this year we have a set of rules that we are going by, and this year everything went pretty smooth with the committee. We didn't have any like 3-hour plus phone calls, stuff like that.
I've been in film voting thing. We Moto and I last year were voting on just animations, and then some committee member really like, I'm gonna get that film that's the one that I'm gonna pick, and they just bully their way to a point where Moto's like, I'm voting for this one, I'm out of here. And I think we were on the phone
remember
for another,
that. I was like, all right, y'all. She convinced me. She convinced me.
God.
Let's give that one the award.
Yeah, she's just like,
which is why we do like. Well, I don't know. This is why, but that's why I personally like the People's Choice Awards. And you know, I mean, there's a lot to that, and where like, if you're advertising to vote for me, then people are going to go out and vote for you. But as a content creator and as someone who's creating something to put out in the universe, like there is a bit of marketing that goes with that to get your stuff seen. So, you know, it just kind of comes with the territory. And
and the whole idea, the biggest thing with starting the TWIPYs, like that, even that first year, was I really didn't want in any way to like discourage people, because, you know, like if I think of This Week in Pinball, and I knew that I wasn't going to win because Pinside is like the mothership, but say if I wasn't in like the top 10 or something like that, and then I'm kind of thinking, oh, well, maybe my stuff is not that good. So it's tough.
It's not the case.
The committee kind of mocked me the first few years because I was so worried about hurting people's feelings on stuff like that. But, you know, what I always kind of try to think of it as is, you know, if you take like a podcast, for example, you know, maybe this podcast doesn't finish in the top 10, but somebody that's listening, that's their favorite podcast. Like there are a lot of people that, you know, favorite podcast, favorite YouTube, favorite whatever, you know, people love they have different tastes and stuff like that. So the person that wins, you know, you're still providing a great value to the community. So
it's just a fortunate to be eligible for your any nomination. So, and it's nice it's nice that you think that way, as far as, you know, we want to support the community, we want to grow the community, we don't want to alienate the community, and there's always next year too. So
plus most people are doing this for free. It's not, you know, it's like the Oscars or something, or where they're making a ton of money on these films.
Right.
You don't give away like really expensive gift bags to everybody backstage, and here's a Rolex watch.
They get free booze, I heard.
Oh wow, that's not bad. That's a way to
everyone comes out onto the stage all drunk,
all loose and goosey. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. That works.
It was good.
So the TWIPY Awards is in 2 weeks. Exciting. Things have been judged. You guys are organizing it. Now, the TWIPY Awards will also be live as well this time. So it's going to be a merger of, they'll be up on the stage, it'll be live, and then there's going to be somebody back there switching and playing, streaming it. So tell me a little bit more about that process, because you are, it's again, evolving like a chrysalis into a butterfly and expanding to all mediums. So please tell us more.
And this is more, this year we're kind of taking it, this is kind of a Moto's area here, but this year we're really kind of taking it to the next level. We're doing, did you hear him say 2 weeks of Moto?
It's actually less than that.
It's only less than a couple weeks,
But we're gonna stream like a red carpet thing at the beginning. That'll be fun, and then the after party is gonna be a blast too. So we're gonna do the red carpet event, and then the actual show, and then we're gonna do an after party that we're gonna have some DJs go up there and some special guests and stuff like that, and just kind of let loose afterwards. We'll have some pinball machines in there to, you know, play and have fun. And
James, guess who the DJs are? Because he
Paul
knows.
Malentort.
Yeah, DJ M Tort, Paul, the owner of Marco's Specialties, is gonna be one of them.
He's rocks, man. He's great. You?
Special guest.
Yeah. Wicka. Scott Denisi.
Oh, Scott is.
Scott Denisi.
Yeah.
Oh, how exciting. I hope he does. I hope he brings out his analog rig and just twiddles knobs for a
Oh
couple
my
hours.
gosh. I don't know if he'll bring that giant monstrosity. Yeah, that thing's really cool. He did a really cool set at Houston Arcade Expo that we did live stream. If you guys want to see that epic stuff on our YouTube page. He's just like unplugging things and it's just making music. I don't think he'll do that.
Oscillators and stuff. I love that stuff.
But it'll be great. It's a great merger of, you know, with This Week in Pinball being the host, with Marco Pinball and Pinball Life, arguably two of the biggest pinball part supplier companies, coming together to just party and celebrate with the community. So like, to me, it's just such a perfect night it's gonna be, where it's like what everything I do, what everything all of us right here do, is to just like hype up the community and, you know, show praise to so many people that are creating pinball machines or other types of content, or just making the room have great energy in it because they're cool people, you know, just in general. It's just a
We've got some international people that are going to be hyping up the room too. I forgot about
that. And we have
us more.
Yep, we have RB Flip all the way from France is coming. They do pinball live streaming and stuff too, and they're going to be like our MCs to kind of get people hyped up.
Yeah.
You're going international. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. After the last one, the last live one, you know, the virtual ones have been a little different, but the last live one, I was so exhausted. And then as soon as it ended, I just got like a second wind where it was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And we all, you know, went out after that, and it was a blast. So I'm looking forward to that this year too. And be cool to have that in the room there.
Yeah. You don't even have to go out. We're just going to do like a quick swap with some elevator music, and the lights dim and the party starts.
Exactly.
I forgot to play. I was gonna put in this little box down here. Just it's actually kind of our rough cut footage from last year, just to show James. It's funny because it's me and Jack Danger, but this is the type of and I sped it up too because it's like, you know, there's no audio, but
and lots of movie magic coming together to. Look at that. They're going so quickly.
Yeah, look. That elevator I took to get up next to. So that was the thing. Like we shot in 2 separate states. At the same time, Jeff was on Zoom with us. So we pretty much used this live stream format, to be honest. That's how I became good at live streaming, by doing virtual TWIPYs. And Jeff would just direct us, and we'd go through and kind of read out the categories, respond to each other, and then introduce the presenters, which we got a lot of video submissions for. And I think that year too, we did Cameo. So we had a lot of like random people. They're not random at all. Like it was like Elijah Wood is still my favorite. Cool. So I just like want to go back and watch that. He was just so cool, and like lots of other famous people to help present the categories, which was cool.
So do we want to open this up for some questions from our audience and get some feedback? If not, also I got to ask Jeff what his favorite pinball machine is, because that's always a go-to question for me. Is like,
it's the stock pinball interview question.
It's my stock question. I always want to know people's pinball games, and then will they shoot with me some pinball when I see them next?
Okay, so and mine, it changes a lot.
No, this is your origin machine, the machine that brought you the love of pinball.
That would be Funhouse. That's the one I played in college, and just
right answer.
You know, the Rudy phase.
Right answer to me. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right
I love
now,
Rudy.
Stranger Things is the one I'm playing the most.
Okay.
So
Yay. I love Stranger Things.
Excellent. And what games do you own? What games are behind you?
So
I want that Mario. Guns N' Roses.
And then Stranger Things here. And I've got an Avengers. It's just off screen there. And then I've got this like stand-up arcade NES.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's got Super Mario 3 on it right now.
Yeah, and it's actually got the NES console in there. It's not like a simulator or anything. So
nice lineup.
Yeah.
What was that? Did you ever? I was like calculating this one like Pictionary type game on the NES, like Anticipation or something like that. Did you ever play that game? No, it was just me. Snoopy's Olympics.
This thing on Amazon that has like it's got like 100 and some games on it, so it's probably illegal. I'm guessing. I don't know. But it's really
well. Good thing you're really promoting it.
Cool.
And what's your home address? Just kidding. You just get rated.
I've been playing RC Pro-Am a lot. It's probably the one I've played most on this little stand-up thing. So
nice.
Get addicted to it.
So some questions in the chat.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Joel, I think this is Joel Kaiser based off of his questions. He was a former guest on Big Picture Pinball Show. I don't know if you know Joel, Jeff, but he created the Boys Night Out homebrew pinball machine.
Oh, yeah.
Or custom pinball game.
Yeah, we've talked.
And it was inspired and based off of his feature length film that he made. So we watched part of the film or like a shorter, awesome version of it and then talked about his pinball machine. Anyways, he's in the chat and has a great question for you that I answered in the chat. And he was like, that question was for Jeff. So I'm going to ask it to you. And then you'll laugh because of why I answered it.
Okay.
So he says, the TWIPY Awards for homebrews has re-themes and games from scratch. 2 completely different categories. Is it possible to split this award and maybe rename it?
Yeah, this is homebrew. First, let me say homebrew is my favorite category of the TWIPYs because it's just it's incredible to see what the community has done and can do. We did have those separated before. Wait, I shouldn't say we had them separated. We had it to where to be eligible for homebrew, it could not be a re-theme. It had to be an original theme. So that's how we used to have it. We switched it this year or last year to include re-themes because we had a couple. There's a incredible Led Zeppelin re-theme that kind of got screwed by not being eligible. And it's hard to know. There are a lot of categories where we'd like to get them more granular, but we don't want the show to be 4 hours long, or we don't want like so many categories. So we have that on the list to discuss next year again, to revisit that to see if we're going to keep the re-themes.
Hello, Amiga Cami. Thanks for joining us.
You just need to have music.
Yeah,
during the performance. We'll play you out, and then the microphone will go down. And
that was actually a great explanation, and I had forgot about that part.
Yeah.
But yeah, the idea of creating 2 different categories makes total sense. But at the end of the day, we had to take some categories out to put in new ones. Yeah. And I believe that the TWIPYs are always going to be evolving, right, with the committee. And
they always are. And
one day I'll get my favorite pinball pet in there.
Yeah. Someday we may move to have more categories, and then we just won't do all of them live, which I kind of hate to do, but we could do something like these other lesser categories or something like that are have those announced separately than what would be announced the live show.
That's
But
actually pretty common though too. You see a lot of that, like, you know, best to like sound effect mixing award. You just don't even put it on there. You know, they do it the night before. So so you still get an Oscar or whatever, but they just break them up a little bit so the show is a little shorter and more concise.
Joel, that's a really great question. I can't tell you how many hours we've discussed that.
How many categories in total is there for the TWIPYs?
There's
26, 22 maybe 26.
That was I think you're close. I think you're closer. I think it's 22 or 23.
And people do you let everybody who gets an award give a little speech, a little presentation? If they're there,
if somebody's there to accept, then yes. Yeah. So
yeah.
But yeah, and Joel, I hear you, man.
I know.
It's when you design your own mechs and your own layout and everything, it's a lot different than retheming, but it's a tough category. I love it though. I love that category.
I know. I love the custom games and the rethemes, but yeah, they should. Yeah, and that was what I was like. Potentially in the future was my easy response, but it was mainly like, oh God, can we fit more categories? But it would be important. It would be great.
Well, maybe he could lobby for it and get other people in on it and lobby the committee. Say we have to have this award. Have a whole bunch of people involved in it.
The idea why we settled it this year like this is that we try to leave things up to the voter as much as possible. So if somebody looks at a retheme and looks at an original theme, last year it was the Sonic game that won. That was not a retheme; it was an original layout and everything.
Such a good game.
Votes should, in theory, the voters would vote for their favorite game, with that being an original design and layout, to kind of leave that to the voter. But it's a good question. I don't know if there's a perfect answer to it, so we're going to talk about it.
You're trying.
We're gonna bring it up. I think too, like depending on the year it happens, so maybe there's not enough eligibility for
that's
games.
Another thing too, because there's only, I'm not sure how many are up there this year. There's like 6 or 7 homebrews, and that includes rethemes and original themes. So I'm hoping that homebrew grows and grows and grows and grows, and more people, because it's just so cool to see what people come up with. So
I agree.
It'd be cool if it kept growing and we could split that out at some point.
Yeah, so that's your MO, Joel. You need to get more people making their own games. So help grow your community, and that'll be awesome. Another question I got earlier was from Lake Erie Pinball asking, how many people visit your site weekly or monthly?
It kind of depends. I can say that
what's like on the high end? What's your like highest count that you've seen before?
Usually with like the Monday articles would get about 5,000 people coming to them.
Wow.
And then new machine announcements always get more, so those will get 10 plus people come to view those. So I haven't, just because I haven't been out there, I haven't been doing content as much recently. I've been more focused on the TWIPYs and stuff. I haven't looked as closely, but we'll still get 1,000 a day or so.
Wow.
Now just people looking at old rules and deep dives and things like that. So
yeah, I definitely go on to the deep dives and everything. It's the greatest source. So I'm going to take a moment to drop this link in the chat and promote This Week in Pinball's website, because this is one of my favorite aspects of it, is the Pinball Promoters database, because they have this amazing extensive list of everyone who has signed up. content, pinball making content. So it could be podcasts, live streams, just regular YouTube content, websites, everything content related. You can sign up and put your info on this page. And for all of us who are looking for new content, we come and peruse this page. We can see a little review. We get links to everything that you're doing. And it's great for SEO too. So it immediately, like us having our Marco TV in your database has helped us get new viewers. And, with people with Google Analytics and stuff like that. So if any of you are content creators out there and are watching this, pinball content creators, please, you should totally sign up to this. It's completely free and it's amazing. And that's how I'm like, oh, I want to, check out a new podcast. Let me see what's going on. I can go on Spotify or whatever, Podbean, and type in pinball and maybe find something. But it's so nice having this little Rolodex y'all have created. This is 203 promoters so far. So that's awesome. Let's see that number
huge
grow.
Shout out to Will again on that.
Will's so
he
awesome.
Did all of the work.
Gosh.
He is awesome. So he's just crushed that on. We've been looking to try to do something along those lines for a while. But the way he designed the site and looks fantastic and easy to search, and
it's so nice. It's funny. Yeah, wow.
It's a resource. It's not just content. The website's a resource. So you can go there even though you don't have new content being posted. There's all kinds of other stuff there. There's the history. There's, it's something for the community. So and the website's not, it's just a reprieve in content. Content's coming eventually. So as well as the TWIPY Awards, there's plenty of content. So that's a lot of work right there.
It is.
So
right, Emoto?
So come see it. Come see it or screen it. Or come see the human faces.
Yeah, come to Texas Pinball Festival and sit in the crowd. And if for whatever reason you really can't, then we will be streaming it live on This Week in Pinball's YouTube channel.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're going to stream the after party. I think that'll probably be on Marco.
Yeah, we'll stream the after party on Marco Pinball's YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. You'll find us there. Yeah. We might be having to turn the camera away if stuff gets too crazy. Just saying.
That's Saturday night for the TWIPY Awards? Okay.
Yes.
Saturday night.
What are the hours? When should I be checking in?
Doors open at 8 p.m. The show starts right at 8:30. And
that's what time zone for 8?
Central.
Central? Okay.
That's all Central, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Because at the top of the show, I said 8 p.m. Eastern because that's when this show plays. We're in Central Time because we're in Texas. We're in Frisco, Texas, just right out of Dallas, yeah. So it'll be 9 p.m. Eastern.
We'll also be streaming a little bit right before the event, too, on the quote red carpet.
Red carpet, people, some little impromptu interviews and stuff.
Exactly.
Which will be cool.
Awesome.
Yeah,
now,
so James, we want you there getting lots of cool B-roll of everything.
Yes, I will be at the convention. And if you do see me, say hello. I'll be happy to hang out with you a little bit and watch you play some pinball. I'll have a big camera probably on my shoulder, running around documenting it for Marco Pinball. So if you do see me, say hello. I'd love to film you playing some pinball and seeing what people do. Shaking hands, promoting things. I love it. So
Jeff's, your earbuds died.
They died.
Sorry if there's an echo. No, yeah, I think we're okay right now. So another question I had, real quick, and then it was this was a little bit earlier, but I'll save it for now. This was Bex Rex on Twitch. Said, if Jeff were fixing a pinball machine and he lost a finger, which finger would he lose? And how would he do it?
Oh, this is so easy. This is so easy.
I would have taken 10 years to answer that.
So I have a finger that I call it my wonky finger. I had a softball injury that didn't turn out so good when I got my finger fixed. I
Hold it up.
softball injury. So
We
is
want
this
to see-
one.
Whoa, cool. Dang.
So this is definitely the one I'd want to lose because it doesn't work very well anyway. So, and as
You
far as
can't flick
how,
people off.
the machine just came crashing.
Ooh,
no.
so this is actually a pinball injury. Wow.
This is like Silver Ball Chronicles next story.
No, that would be the finger that I'd want to lose. So it's kind of worthless anyway. So
That's
and
why.
very critical.
But at least you have 4 others on that hand.
Does
so that's good.
Bex Rex know about your finger, and that's why
I
that
think
question
so, I
was
don't know.
asked? Wow,
Again,
what
yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
I thought that question was random, but now it like went full circle. That was awesome. That's great. Oh,
I gotta say, I
your
wasn't
poor finger.
expecting.
You should keep
to
it. Don't
start
lose your
off-
finger. It's okay if it's a little bent. It's fine.
I wasn't expecting to start off tonight with discussing Amish and ending it with discussing my weird finger. But this
Welcome
works.
to the Big Picture Pinball Show.
The picture, it's all about the big picture. It could be anything and a little bit of everything, and we try to steer it toward pinball and filmmaking, but it could be, lots of stories out there to talk about. So
Exactly.
Yep.
but thank you very much. Do you want to give away some swag, or do we have a few more
Yeah,
questions?
yeah, we can. Let's do it. Cowboys, guys. I have let's go to the raffle screen. Boop-a-doo. Look at that. I got 4 lucky people that wanted to ask a question. They were brave souls. They asked
Love 'em.
wonderful questions, and one of
Love our
them
brave souls.
tonight, the odds are great. You're going to win a $25 gift card to Silver Ball Swag and get some awesome products from them. So let's spin the wheel.
Has Joel won before? He's probably been one before.
You jinxed it. Yay,
I
Joel. No, I don't think he's won before. He's been on the
Right.
show. Congratulations, Joel. Joel actually did have
Joel, yay! Got him.
probably
jinx him.
had Jeff's favorite question about the homebrew stuff. So it worked out
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah.
So thank you,
That's a good
Joel, for
question.
participating. Thank you, everyone else, too. Cowboy Scott, it was nice seeing you in the chat, and everyone else. It's awesome. So now,
When the TWIPY Awards air, and I miss a TWIPY Awards, will they be archived so that I can listen to it later on as a podcast or screen it?
Definitely. The show will be on This Week in Pinball's YouTube channel.
Mhm.
So you can watch video on demand there. And then I'm not sure where we'll do that after party stuff, but we'll put that out there somewhere too. So we'll
yeah,
see.
it'll be on
Yeah.
Marco Pinball's archive, but maybe Casey wants to take that after party stream and create a cool little like 90-second
Highlight reel.
recap highlight
Yeah.
reel.
Yeah,
Cool.
that could work.
Be a little
That'll be
less
awesome.
embarrassing for some people, I'm sure. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll see. I mean, like you want to show the fun, but you got to leave some up to mystery too, because we want people to come to Texas Pinball Festival next year. You know,
Yeah.
so
It's going to be a blast. I'm really looking forward to the whole thing. It's I can't wait. I'm so glad that it's live again finally. So
it's
glad.
gonna be nice. I'm glad it's live too. So I don't have to edit as much.
Yes.
And if I mess up, then it's okay. I can't edit it. I just have to keep going with the flow. So
And
it'll
Emoto
be
and I right
great.
now are like, we've been messaging most of the day about TWIPYs, and we'll be messaging after this, I'm sure,
Yep.
about TWIPY stuff.
Yep. It's TWIPY time, y'all.
It is.
Well, Jeff, thank you so much for appearing
Thank
on
you,
the
Jeff.
Big Picture Show and letting us promote what you do and the exciting week ahead, a couple weeks ahead. So very exciting. So thank you very much for hanging out. And I just found out that you live up the street from me too, which is
That's so
mind blow.
crazy.
It's a mind blow. So now I'm gonna have to like rope Jeff into my big picture. So I've got some big picture coming up, and now I got to rope Jeff in on my big picture. So
yeah,
we'll have
I
things to
work
talk
in
about.
I work in the like where you live. So that was.
Thank you, Cowboy Scott. You guys could have got like an offender bender, and then Jeff lifts up his middle finger that's all bent. You're
I'll
like,
bend up. I'll be like, ah! It's like, oh, I know you. You're Jeff. You're the TWIPY Award guy.
awesome.
I recognize the finger.
Thank you, Cowboy Scott. And so next episode, next week, we are going to do episode 2.
We'll do that. But how do they get your swag? How they need to send you an email.
Joel won.
So,
I know.
Yeah,
Joel, you need to send me your shipping address to marcotv@marcopinball.com, and we'll send you your gift card. And then when you get your swag that you ordered, I want you to send me a picture of you wearing it, because that would just
we'll put it on the show. We'll say, like, there he is with this cool pinball machine behind him.
That would be great. Yeah, so congratulations, Joel, for winning, for sure. So next week is Zach Weddington. He's the creator of Arcade Dreams. It's a new series that has been filming for the past year or so. And it's arcade and pinball games. It's they do some really beautiful content. I've met them through the grapevine, have shot a little bit with them as well. And so we're going to learn about, what their story is all about. And then also a little tech side of things, kind of deep dive into what it's like shooting on a Blackmagic camera and editing with DaVinci. This is also James's workflow. I shoot on Blackmagic cameras a lot. I have not jumped onto the DaVinci train. Oof. I'm not ready to learn a new editing system, but it'll be really fun. So expect on the 29th, a few days of recovering from Texas Pinball Festival, we will geek out with some cinematography. So,
Love it.
Awesome.
It's a Big Picture Pinball Show, season 2.
Yes, Joel says you don't have that on file. Please send me your shipping address to marcotv@marcopinball.com. Awesome.
Groovy.
All right. Thanks, y'all.
That's
Thank
it.
you guys so much.
See
I appreciate it.
you.
See you in a couple of weeks.
Goodbye.
All right. See ya.
Yeah. No, less than that.
Oh, yeah. I said that.
All
Coming
right.
up quick.
Goodbye. Oh, Amiga Cami. Hey, it's Zach. We can't wait to see you in a few weeks on this show.